All right.
Okay, so we're learning a little bit about Parshas Tzav. We're a little bit rushed because we've got to learn also Purim. So, Parshas Tzav we'll start with. Oh yeah, Parshas Tzav. Yeah. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is about this Easter Pigul. Pigul means you have the wrong type of thought while offering the korban, right? They have it chut l'zman or chut m'komo, right? You're gonna eat it out of the time limit, absolute time limit, or not in the right place. Right, that's pigul. That's the absolute pigul. That you have this wrong thought that ruins the korban. Of course, I have to say the Yismach Moshe is just obligatory when we talk about pigul, which is that the Kohanim their whole life were immersed and focused on doing ovre properly. Right, it was a big honor for a Kohen. What Kohen is such a loser that he's going to think the wrong thought during that vote of the Beis Hamikdash? Like, you are such a loser. We have to always complicate halachas, and what about this, and what about that? It's like, well, like, who has this? It's like a freak, out of left field kind of question. One would think, right? So, the Yisroch Moshe says that, and this is really also in the Zohar and various other places. This idea of like the korban, the Kohen had to like figure out what the various of the person was. Had to work it out, and the korban was supposed to help him with that. So that's why actually the Zohar says, why do they bring the kior? The Zohar, the Arizal. Sorry, the Arizal says why the kior? What do they need the kior from the women's mirrors? What do they need the kior for? Why was it specifically made of mirrors? So he says the kohen used to look at the forehead of the supplicant, the person bringing the korban, to see his avers. He say, this is your korban. Do true for this, do true for that, do true for the other thing. So the mirrors, it's not appropriate for the kohen to go staring at this lady's forehead. So he would look in the kior and he would see her reflection, and it would be not so clear. And he could see though the problems that she had to fix. He would say. So he says that when a kohen had a pigul thought, it wasn't because of the kohen, it was because the person didn't do a real tshuva. And the kohen said, it's pigul. Sorry, buddy. Bring another one. You didn't do it right. And it might be a little bit the Kohen, because the Kohens didn't have a schus to help the guy do tshuva. But like really, it's like, buddy, you blew, which is a very fascinating idea of what pigul is. Right? That's the idea of what pigul is. So you have also this Indian of, so that's the use of Moshe, what pigul is about. So the Komarna and many foreign talk about this idea as well. That pigul is the Indian. Here, I was supposed to be real quick, right? It's not going so well. Okay, we'll try. But pigul is the Indian of, when you're dealing with pigul, the Indian of having a negative thoughts of person to himself. Being taken over by bad thoughts. Right? He's not in the right place. He's out of a proper place, out of a proper zman. He's not, he's messed up. He's not where he's supposed to be, or how he's supposed to be, or when he's supposed to be. His thoughts are a little bit, he's misusing his midos, let's put it that way. So the Komarna actually says, sometimes it's kedai to, you have machshavas pigul, something's really bad, sometimes you use something different. He says, you get angry, so you know what I mean, you get involved a little bit in taivas, not in a bad way, but like, you lower yourself, play with the kid, whatever. He said, the other way also. The taivas, so you start to get angry about something. Try to divert it to the lesser evil. He said, that's a good way sometimes of like, you shouldn't blow up and do things in a very negative way. That's the Komarna in this week. But B'chlal, this thing of pigul has to do a lot with having the right type of machshava. The moral always says that a very bad thought, a thought that's way off, is to, I don't know if always, but he brings us to this expression, or in other places as well, is called pigul. Thinking the wrong kind of thought, the wrong kind of place, a messed up kind of wrong-headed, wrong kind of thoughts. Because I don't know where he brings it. He brings it. I forgot the thought. What he says there. What does he say? I don't remember. But he definitely brings this idea into Tiferes Yisrael, and I think in other places as well. This idea of, it's definitely brought in other places, not in the moral. This idea of like having a negative thought is this bechina that's called this bechina of pigul. So we have to work very hard on machshavas. That's a very big part of machshavas beriru. Everything is determined by thoughts. So where your thoughts are, that's where you are. And again, obviously one has to say that Tzedek says that when your thoughts, he says now it's helpful to try to help someone short term, if they're depressed or they have thoughts that bring them to place their anger or resentment. It doesn't help to say, you try to like encourage them or you try to get them out of their resentment. It's because they have thought patterns that they're used to, And that makes them go right back to the same place. It's like sort of a long-term job with them to learn how to change the way you think so that you don't start to hate people, you're not full of grandiosely full of your own self, you don't start to feel depressed and feel so bad. Also, again, grandiosely full of yourself in a different way. So this is the avoda. This is one of the avodas of the Parshas. This of Pigul, of these negative thoughts. Even this bechina in avoda, because again, and that's the Vitebsker says. The Vitebsker says the person when people ask me why they have these bad thoughts while they're davening. So why can't I daven right? He says you have gaiva. He said the gaiva you have gaiva. They throw you out of the Heichal Melech. He said how do you throw out of the Heichal Melech? They give you all these very very sweet thoughts and you can't focus on your davening at all. So that's how you get thrown out. So he said what's the gaiva? He said people want so much to be better, and they're not happy with who they are now. She says, and you're going to tell me, what do you mean it says you're supposed to say, well, will my meisim get to the meisim of the avos? He said, well, yeah, avada, you're supposed to yearn, but that doesn't mean you're not happy with yourself now. It just means you're yearning for more. If you're not mabsut, not satisfied, if you're not pleased with the good you have, then there's something problematic with you. He said, that's why the Gemara says, even Posh Yisrael, filled with mitzvahs like a rimon, like a pomegranate that's filled with seeds. He says, so why are they Posh Yisrael? How are they sinners? If they're filled with mitzvahs like a pomegranate. He says, it's very simple. He said, they don't realize, they don't attribute importance to their mitzvahs, and therefore they're Posh Yisrael. When you don't understand the greatness of what you do, of your positive attributes, of the good in you, so then you can fall to all sorts of things. You don't understand the importance of where you're holding and who you are. So this is a person who doesn't have that happiness. He said, so now they throw you out. Tossed from tefillah. This is not the Yistold in general. It's a very, very important Yistold.
So on the third sheni, which is, I did this small mitzvah and I feel gaividik about it.
Okay, this is a different problem. So you have to be very careful. Generally speaking, the Breslav's firm, it's clear that we're more worried about a person falling. We're more worried about a person falling to getting to a place of discouraged. You have to be very careful not to be discouraged. Discouraged is like the worst, very, very hard problem to deal with. All the rest about gaiva, you have to learn how to navigate gaiva. Gaiva is very hard. I mean, Ray Nachman says, right? There's no eitzah for gaiva. There's no gaiva anywhere.
There's no eitzah.
No real eitzah. You can try. The Ramak says it also. The Ramak says, well, you can kind of, one of the eitzah of the Ramak is this idea of like, I'm only trying. I don't feel like I'm actually doing it. I'm trying. If you're trying, Ravobi brings us also this idea. It's like, if you realize that you're just like trying. In the Breslev, they would say, Kometz Aleph Ah. You have to go, you're holding by an Aleph base, they teach you how to do Kometz Aleph. I guess in the Sephardic Chatzar, and they say kamat aleph a, whatever, kamat patach aleph a, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like the bottom line is, the Ashkenaz and Teimanim, we'd say the but I guess Kontimas make whatever. It doesn't matter. Actually, a different Chadar right there. Hungarians, who knows what, different ones. But like the bottom line is that like if you're an aleph base, you realize that you're nowhere. It's like, so I don't daven. I'm ki'ilu davening. But it's very chashuv that I want to daven, but it's like, this is called this a daven.
Or if you have a guy, then you feel like
so
you
have to be real about it. It's very, again, I always said the Chasam Sofer, like the big guy, I love this beautiful story, the Chasam Sofer, the Bach is like, I have a guy problem, what do I do? He's like, okay, you'll stay with me. So people asked the Chasam Sofer a lot of hard questions. One guy came in, and he said he had a business problem, schwer business problem, like, what do I do, I need the eitzah, and this thing, it's very complicated. So Chasam says, we have this bacher, he'll help you. He's like, I don't know anything about business. I know nothing. So Chasam Sofer gave him a great, brilliant eitzah. So then someone came in, also a hard, complicated question, can I, will I not, what do I do? So he says, we have this bacher, he'll help you. He has eitzah, worldly eitzahs, he'll know what to do. He's like, I don't know, I need to. Alright, so then this guy came in, it was a Rosh Hashiva, and he asked him a shver, kashan, Rambam, whatever, very hard question. So he said, we have this bacher, he'll tell you what to do, the pshat in the Rambam. The bacher's like, I'm sorry, I never done the sugi, I have no idea. So the guy left, and some was like, I don't understand your gaiba problem. You don't know anything about business. You don't know. You're not very worldly. You don't know about what to do, and you don't know how. You're not a god. Like what? What do you got? Like I understand. What's the guy? When a person's real about it, if I'm real about it, I start to realize. So again, there's the inyan. There's the inyan of understanding, of realizing that I have a lot of positive. Baruch Hashem, it's really good, but hey, I'm really not really holding. It's not really the way it ought to be. So it's a bechina of a person knowing that I'm only ki'ilu. I'm trying, but it's ki'ilu. I'm trying to. I'll come and tell the farm in Aleph Beis. Like, that's one eitzah, like Ki'ilu eitzah of God, but it's not a real eitzah because you could always also say, see how Chashamayim, I'm not Machshamayim mitzvahs. Like, you can always turn it around to be gaiva. You can do anything you want. Gaiva is very insidious.
There's no eitzah for it.
There are endless. Again, you have to learn. You have to learn how to change your attitude, understand, learn about it, and get a. The more a person's less, the less he's pouring Torah. Generally speaking, the more less he can do with the gaiva. But it's all choices. You always have a choice. What was it? Roshon Shadron tells the story of the guy who was a garbage collector. Was Roshon Shadron? I think. What are the Bali Musar? But there's endless stories about a garbage collector that's sitting there with one guy is throwing this horrible refuse into the cart. Who knows what there is? Refuse and sewage. Who knows what it is? Terrible. Other guy's sitting on the cart, so proud, and the guy's throwing this. Tomorrow I drive the cart. He's so. It's like, buddy, it's so what? People, you can be gaiva anywhere. So you have to be careful, the guy, but you have to do your best. But again, this idea of like knowing, I'm just starting, I'm just trying, I'm just beginning. That's really one of the deeper sodas.
How do you get that to go in? How do you get the I could say that all day, but am I really going to believe that?
The real eitz is tefillah. There's no real eitz. And you're learning about it, understanding it, and being aware, hey, this is just really not okay. It's not okay to feel better than anyone else. It's not okay to feel... And it's just not... And there are layers and layers and layers and layers, endless layers. And we have no gaiva the way we used to, but then we have other gaiva problems. A lot of problems. People have a lot of problems. We have this little nachashi, this little snake inside. You have to be careful with the snake, That's what the Alter of Kelm says. It says a person ain't other dying nachash b'kifa achas, right? The mitzvahs we find. You can't live with a snake in one basket. What? So the Alter of Kelm says, why not? He says, because you're a snake. I said, you can't, because you're also a snake. You get it back. You can't let it. Once the person's snake, the snake calms down. So then it's possible to continue if you're willing to let go of the tightness. But if you're holding on to the tight, again, in Pigul, you have these negative thoughts, you have this negative attitude, So you kill everything. It's up to you. You poison the atmosphere, poison everything, and then you look back and you're like, well, what happened? What happened? Well, I made it impossible. I'm not okay. It was all a gaiva. It was right. All that comes out again, the machshav, all these things. You have to work on it. So okay, so much for being short. Baruch Hashem, a little bit of the Komarna, a little bit about Pigul.